Hey guys, I'm Tim Coven. I'm going to be talking to you about college. Okay, now college was a tough 10-year period of my life. I know, right? You'd think it would be 4 years, but, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, let's start with when I was in high school. Now, what do they tell you about college when you're in high school? They say, oh, it's getting ready for the real world. One, no it doesn't. Two, there is no real world. I don't know who made it up, but there's no real world. Okay, anyway, let's talk about a few things. First off, I toured 2 colleges before I started my applications. And the first one I loved at CW Post, Long Island University. Loved it right there. Went to the campus, SUNY Albany. Didn't love it. So, I applied, CW Post. The school I really wanted, and the only school I applied to. And guess what? I got in. Not only that, I was the first student in my graduating class, 2006, to get an acceptance letter. I mean, come on, that's awesome. You know, the other kids were just so jealous. I mean, that's booster there. Anyway, so when I went to start college, people were nervous for me because I had never spent any length of time away from home, except when I was in the hospital for a month. That was it. Otherwise, the longest time I spent away from home was like 4 days, and then time with my dad on the weekends for when I was in custody with him. Now, some of my neighbors didn't think I'd last 3 months. I lasted 3 years at CW Post. Now, here's what happened when I started college. If you're getting ready for college, let me tell you, I never studied in high school. Well, when you get to college, you need to study. It's just totally not the same thing at all. It's crazy insane. Like, you really need to study. Now, when I started college, I got my first real job. I mean, the only other thing I ever had done was work study for school, and that was high school. I worked in my high school library's work study. And I thought, you know what, this library thing, it's cool. So, I picked to major in library science. But as it turned out, at Studio Post, library science was only a master's degree. So I had to pick something else for the 4 years beforehand. So what did I do? I picked information management and technology. Now this did not work out. I mean, IT is just not my thing. In fact, one of my other jobs I had to deal with this IT guy. Hated that IT guy. I could not imagine myself being an IT guy because then I'd have to hate myself. So after 2 semesters of not getting good grades in my computer science classes, I switched to a new major. Now, I spent 1 semester undeclared because I had to say, okay, gotta reevaluate this. What do I really want out of life? So I thought about it. I thought, gee, I like reading. I'm gonna be a writer someday, so maybe English education is my thing. I want to teach high school English. That ambitious, but that was just totally something I thought I could do. Now, if you're gonna dorm, there's something you need to know about: roommates. Okay, my first 2 college roommates. The first one I had for a year. We didn't get along. We maybe associated a little here and there, but spent no time outside of the dorm room talking to each other in class with or anything. We just totally ignored each other. Then I had a roommate who, another one I didn't get along with. I mean, he switched. I got a roommate who was a business major from Japan. Well, you'd think that would have been a shitty roommate, but no. We got along really, really well. I mean, it worked. When he was my roommate, my best grades ever. Okay? All A's and B's with him. But then I got a new roommate when I started my 3rd year of college. And my first roommate just disappeared. He was there for 1 semester, came back in the next semester. His stuff was there, but he wasn't. I waited a month, and he never came back, so I threw all stuff out. Then I had a Korean roommate who I don't even remember his name. I called him MJ because he had a really complicated name and I just could not get it right, so he was my roommate. He wanted a nice, quiet place to study. Well, my neighbors were not quiet. So after 2 nights, he left. And I went without a roommate. Now, some people don't know this about me because, well, you probably don't know me at all, but I have what they call monophobia, which is a fear of being alone. So I needed a roommate because not having a roommate, being alone in a room which was smaller than this room anyway, but still, being alone just did not work for me. So finally, I got a roommate who was a party animal. Now, of course, when you're in college, like I said, when I started, my grades were okay. Then I had great grades, but then when I finished, nope, my grades were shit. I mean, when you go to college, you want your independence, but I really wasted it, and my dad just stopped paying, so since my mom couldn't afford it, I had to do the worst thing that could happen to me. I had to drop out. Now this really, really got me down. I mean, 3 years just gone down the crapper. So, I said, you know what? Gotta get a job. So, I got a job, and I decided to start online college with University of Phoenix Online. Now that I got accepted, of course, and decided, you know what? This is gonna help. Quit my job. Well, I got fired from my job because of a really stupid technicality, but then I went full-time to online college classes. Let me tell you, I figured, online college classes would be easy. They are not. That was some really, really hard stuff. So, of course, I decided to continue my degree in education, but after getting my associate's degree in education, I realized it's not what I wanted after all. So I said, you know what? Pick the English. I mean, after all, I'm going to be a famous writer someday. So this is a good start. So I started my bachelor's degree going for English. Now, University of Phoenix Online wanted me to choose a minor. So I chose journalism. Now everyone said, why didn't you pick creative writing? Well, simple. Creative writing, if I don't become a successful author, and I only have a creative writing degree, I ain't getting anywhere. So, I picked journalism, just as a fallback. But, I kept going. And then I started doing online videos because I thought, that's using journalistic talents there. I'll be an anchor. And that just, hasn't been successful, but, well, I worked my ass off, I got good grades, and on my own with no outside help, I got my bachelor's degree in English with a concentration in journalism. Now, there's one very particular reason why I chose today, February 25th, 2020, to do a video like this. Quite simple, because I graduated from college 4 years ago today. So let me tell you, it was a tough 10 years of my life, but I worked really, really hard. I mean, I got my college degree. I mean, that's just awesome for someone like me, Just awesome. My dad, it took him 20 years to get a degree, so got my degree, and today is the anniversary, so go me, and I'm going to tell you 4 words. 3 words, actually. Coming out.